hi. Saint-Malo is the city and the port in the northwest of France. There is in the region Brittany, department Linares and Villain, the center of the district of the same name. It is located in 75 km to the north from Rennes and in 404 km from Paris, on the bank of the English Channel in the mouth of the river Rance. Population 2018 -46478 people. The city enjoys popularity at tourists. In warm season in Saint-Malo can be up to 200,000 people. History has arisen at the beginning of the 6th century when Britons under pressure of Anglo and Saxophones began to move on the southern coast of the English Channel. It is for the first time mentioned as residence of the Celtic monks Araneletsky and Brendan. Has received the name in honor of the saint a little. In the early Middle Ages on the place of Saint-Malo there was suburb of the city of Alet. The bishop serving by residence in the earth of Coriosolit. The city of Saint-Malo became after in the middle of the 12th century the Bishop Jean from Chatillon has transferred from Alet episcopal department here. For a possession of fortress on the island in the mouth of the river in the 14th, 15th centuries dukes of Brittany and kings of France long argued. The golden age of Saint-Malo has fallen on the 16th century when it became navy coastal privateers and has achieved considerable degree of autonomy from royal deputies. During distemper of 1590-1594 residents of Saint-Malo have expelled the royal deputy and announced the city the independent republic. Time of city outlaws is represented in the opera by Caesar Q. Freebooter. By the sea. In the 17th century of Saint-Malo continued to remain the western capital of the French privateers. Grandiose city strengthenings were created on projects of the famous engineer fortificator of Aubin. Foundation in Brittany of the port of Lorient for trade with overseas colonies has undermined value san a little as main harbour of Brittany. By the end of the 18th century the era of prosperity was for Saint-Malo in the past. At disembarkation of Allies in 1944 on the territory of continental Europe the old city has been wiped almost out. What is seen today by tourists has been recreated in 1948-1960. In 1967 in the Gulf Saint-Malo the tidal power plant of La Rance as here the strongest inflows in Europe are noted is constructed. The modern popularity to the city was brought by Tony Blair and Jacques Chirac's summit in 1998 when they discussed some issues of the European security. Sites in Saint-Malo 83 objects with the status of historical monument. The major among them. Tower Solidar, the 14th century. Big Aquarium, one of the largest aquariums in Europe. The Cathedral of Saint Vicente, mainly Gothic style. Fortress of Saint-Malo, powerful fortification construction of the 15th century. The islands of Grangbai and Tibai with Chateaubriand's grave. Fort to Concha. Fort National. Grand Jardines Beacon. Additional photographic materials from the Wikimedia Commons. Economy. In Saint-Malo the headquarters of Chamber of Commerce and Industry of CEP, the small wine glass is located. In the territory of the city the Science and Technology Park of Atalante Saint-Malo in which numerous research, production and service companies are placed is located. Structure of employment of the population. The agricultural industry -1.2%. The industry -9.6%. Construction -5.3%. Trade, transport and the service industry -48. 1%. The public and municipal services -35.8%. Level of unemployment 2018 -13.8%. France in general -13.4%, Department Linois and Villain -10.4%. Average annual income on one person Euro 2018 -21930. France in general -21730, Department Linois and Villain -22230. The post of the mayor of Saint Malo since 2020 is held by the party member Républicains Gilles Lurton. On municipal elections of 2020, the right list headed by it has won in the second round, having received 70.70% of votes. Saint Malo in literature. In the novel by Jules Verne, Surprising Adventures of the Uncle Antifer, the hometown of the main character is Saint Malo. In the novel bestseller by Anthony Dora, All Light Invisible to Us, 2014. Where the plot is tied on events of World War II, the main character, Frenchwoman Marie-Laure, tries to find rescue in the grandfather's house in Saint Malo. In the novel by Boris Akunin, Falcon and the Swallow, the main character Letitia von Dorn goes from the port of Saint Malo to redeem from Berber captivity of the father. An erased Fandarin on the island of Saint Malo cooperates in the work Prisoner of Tower, neither more nor less, with Sherlock Holmes. And they catch Arsène Lupin. In the novel, Theatre of Somerset by Maughan, the main character Julia Lambert spends the vacation in Saint Malo, staying with the mother and the aunt. In series of novels of Juliette Benzoni, Mariana in particular. Other name, you, Mariana. Are mentioned in the fourth book, Slaves of Devil, Saint Malo, and the famous seafarer Sue Urquhart, who is referred to as with the King of Corsairs, too. In this book Mariana asks from it the ship, seeking to help to run to the loved liaison Beaufort from penal servitude. Famous people. It is from Saint Malo many famous seafarers. Jacques Cartier is based in City Cathedral. The researcher of Tierra del Fuego and Falklands Jacques Greenbacken, Bertrand François May de la Bourdon, Marc Joseph Marion Dufresne, Robert Surcouf. Bougainville called in honor of Malvinets. That is seamen from Saint Malo. The Falkland Islands in the Atlantic Ocean. The outstanding philosopher materialist Julien Ofer de la Mettrie was born in Saint Malo. Saint Malo is known also as the homeland and the place of burial. On the island of Grangbai, in several hundred meters from the coast. The writer François-Henri Chateaubriand, the architect and fortificator Jean-Simeon Garanja, and the scientist Pierre-Louis de Maupertuis. In Saint Malo the Russian writer Boris Akunin lives and works. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.